Hey everyone, it's that time of year. Study on Tour is back. So, as you know, we get a grade every week for Study on Tour, and I want to tell you how to get an A plus every single week. Now, the base of everything we do is speaking. Language is auditory, it comes from talking to people and hearing what they're saying. But the good news is that this is the easiest thing that we can do every day. We're around people all the time. So, whenever you talk to people using English, you are working towards your goal for that week. This is the easiest thing to do. You can do it with anyone. But this is more than just saying hello to someone or saying thank you after getting something. We're talking about having real conversations with people. So, wherever you are, whether it's on the bus, whether you're eating lunch, or any other time, you can knock this requirement out every day. If you talk to people every day, you will get an 100% for speaking on Study on Tour. The next thing that is important to work on is vocabulary. In class, we were working on the GSL flashcard words. The GSL is the General Service List, the most common 2,000 words in English. And just like we did in class, if you study just a little bit each day, you'll make a lot of progress learning all these important words. Try to start each study session when you're on tour with just 10 minutes of vocabulary. One thing I've seen in past years is that people will put vocabulary off and instead do other things, and then it just doesn't get done. So anytime you're sitting down to study, open up Flashcards Deluxe and just start with the due cards first, the cards that you have due that day. You finish all your due cards, open up a new list, and over the course of tour, our hope is that you can do 15 different GSL lists so that you'll be ready for the next year of ESL. The next skill that we have to work on is reading. Now, reading is probably one of the most important things we do. It shows us so many useful aspects of English. We learn new words, new sentence structures, and we're just building much stronger language every time we read. Now, we have to do 90 minutes each week to get an A, preferably more than that if you want to get a 100% or an A+. So you could just do one big 90-minute session on your break day, but I've not seen students do very well if they do this. Typically, it's best if you can do 30 minutes 3 times a week, or even better, 15 minutes every single day. Because that way you're constantly working on this muscle and always learning new words every single day. Now, some people say that they get dizzy if they try to read on a bus, but we'll give you plenty of audiobooks, and you can also use that to listen to stories, and you can even count this towards your reading time. You could actually count audiobooks towards reading or listening time, depending on which one you need to work on. Now, the reason I saved listening and watching for last is because this is probably one of the easier things to do. I've never seen a study on tour where people failed to max out their watching time in a given week. So it's usually a good idea to do vocabulary first, then reading, and if you have some extra time, then do your watching and listening. No one ever fails to do this. So it's important to remember that language is ultimately a sound. My Chinese is really bad because I learned so much through reading, but I never really heard those tones. And so that's why often when you'll hear Americans trying to speak Chinese, it sounds very strange because they're not getting those sounds in their head. English is the same way. So every week it's important to be listening to good audiobooks or movies to get the sounds of that language in your mind. It'll help a lot with your speaking as well. Now, just like I said, many people will do this first and then not do the other things that we need to do every week. So one mindset is to maybe think of the movies and videos on your tablet as a reward for when you have finished your vocabulary or finished your reading. Think of this as the last thing you do in a study session. The important takeaway is that all of us can get an A+ during Study on Tour. This will take about 30 minutes or a little bit more of study time each day. But if you're talking to people every day, starting your study sessions with Flashcards Deluxe, studying 4 or more times a week, reading often, maybe 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes 3 times a week, and then rewarding yourself with a video afterward. It's very easy to get an A. So this week, you know what you need to do? Practice getting an A+ on SoT every single day. You do that by talking to your friends whenever you can, opening your flashcards before your study sessions, listening to or reading your books, and then if you've finished those things, watching a movie. Good luck.